Hey there, this is Nicole, also known as Spooks Cosplay. I'm in cosplay right now. Wow, yay, I'm a Hufflepuff, by the way, as you could tell. My name's Nicole. You may know me as Spooks Cosplay, and I have made some videos about making my Hanon cosplay. In the first two parts I showed how I make the bodice, and this video will be about the skirt and the petticoat. It's really fluffy, it's bouncy. It's just a lovely skirt, in my opinion. So if you want to know how I made it, then stay tuned. For the skirt, I'm going to make 3 circus skirts that I will lay over each other. But instead of a normal circus skirt, I'm going to make like the inner circle, so the waist way too big, so I can pleat them afterwards, or maybe gathering them. I'm not really sure yet. I think I will use box pleats. So normally my waist is around 75 centimeters. Now I'm going to make sure that it's like at least 170 centimeters. So for the biggest skirt, I've calculated that the max length for the inner circle could be 27 centimeters. So that's what I'm going to do here. And the length is going to be different for every skirt. So the longest one is like 43 centimeters. Because I'm going to wear it quite high around my waist. I prefer high-waisted skirts. I think they're more comfortable, but you can do whatever you like. And then the middle skirt is like 14 centimeters or so. No, that's the shortest one, sorry, 14 centimeters or so. And then the middle one will be like 28, something like that. So I'm now going to make the middle one, which means 28 plus 27 is 35, 55. I need a little bit more space. I'm always making sure that I have a little bit extra. It's now around 56, just a little bit, just to be sure. Yes, 56, that's fine. I think I said 27, right? Oh. Make sure this is lined up evenly, because you want oh yeah, and what I did was fold it in from there to there and then from there to there. So you have 4 pieces of fabric here, which are all folded and not cut. So, like I said, you can just make a circle skirt. There are plenty of tutorials for those. And just make your waist way too big. You can do your own calculations, or you can be like me and be lazy and use a circle skirt calculator. You can find those online as well. Some people draw their measurements down. Other people who are like me pin them down. It's just whatever you prefer. I prefer pinning, because then I know the fabric is secured as well. If you do draw, you would need to pin them separately. So for me, this is like a lazy hack. I personally like to work inwards as well, but you can also, like, I switch sides when I'm halfway there. But you can also just whoop, go like that in one go. Okay, and then when the inner circle is pinned, you're going to continue on with the outer circle, which is basically just inner circle plus length. So for me that's 27 for the inner circle, 28 for the length, which means it's 55 centimeters long. Or like from the corner So the end is 55 centimeters where I pin it. I'm not really too precise, to be honest. I don't think I need to film everything, so I'm just going to continue with this and then come back when I've done all the pinning. So problem with filming is like I have quite a nice sewing room, but it's just too small to really put a camera stand, so not everything can be filmed really nicely. But I think it's all good enough. When you've pinned everything, you're just gonna cut it out. There it is. Oh, thanks. So then just take out the pins. And the next step is an important one. I will show you. Once your double, triple, whatever circle skirt is cut out, you want to have it be hanging. I'm using 3 mannequins, as you can see, but you can also use one if you can like pin the fabric to the mannequin. Yeah, so this is a really important step that I feel like a lot of people don't do. I didn't do it in the beginning as well, and I really regretted it. Reasons is that this is a circle skirt, so not everything is cut on the same grain, is that a word? But some parts are also cut on the bias, so some parts are cut on the fabric like this, some parts are cut on the fabric like this, which will lead to the ability for the fabric to stretch out, if that makes any sense. Because if it's cut on the bias, so diagonal, it's gonna have a little bit of stretch. What happens if some parts are cut on that stretch, like bias, and some parts are not, is that the stretchy part will go hanging, they will get longer, while the straight parts will not. Meaning that after a while your fabric is going to get uneven, your skirt will be uneven. And it's better to have that happen before you finish off all your raw edges than after wearing it for a while, because it's going to be really annoying to refinish the edges. Because if it's uneven, you will get annoyed, or at least I will get annoyed, meaning I will have to hem it all again, which I really hate. Hemming is annoying, but on top of that, not only do I have to do hemming, I will also have to remove the current hemming of the skirt. So I would rather have it hang out for a while, and better safe than sorry. So I at least advise to have it hanging for 24 hours. Personally, I like to hang it out even longer. I normally let it hang for at least 2 full days, so 48 hours. If I'm not in a rush, I probably let it out even longer. So yeah, there's no real rule for how long something should hang, but I would advise at least 2 days to be safe. Yeah, it's gonna save you from a lot of pain, and sometimes it will turn out okay without the hanging. For me, it turned out well a lot of times, and then one time it did not. So I don't want to take that risk. It's really annoying if it happens to you. So yeah, just let it hang. Relax for a while. So, after hanging the skirt for a few days, I pinned the inner circles together in the exact it is not really exact, but here it's all exact, to see if the length stayed the same, and around here it seems okay-ish. But as you can see, I'm not sure if it happened with the hanging or with the cutting, but not everything is even anymore. So I'm going to cut the longest parts off to make sure everything is even. I think I will flip it one more time to make a quarter of circle skirt again, and then just check, cut around the sides that became longer to make it even again. So yeah, maybe I will use my measure tape to check the size again, but that's what I'm going to do now. So I used my measuring tape and I figured out this was the shorter sides, and it was around 43 centimeters. To be safe, I pinned a pin at 42 centimeters and then start measuring from the top to the bottom everywhere at the 42 centimeters. And as you can see, this corner, it seems pretty alright, but then it gets really uneven. So I am very, very glad that I've let it hang out a little bit, because this was probably the part on the bias, and it did get longer, as you can see. So I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I have let it hang for a couple of days. And now I am going to cut off the extra edges so it's nice and even again. So yes, and when that's done, I'm going to attach the horsehair braid. So when finishing a circle skirt, the best thing you can do is doing a roll hem, but I want a bit of extra reinforcement on the hem. So what I'm going to do instead is adding a little bit of horsehair braid, which will be folded inwards, which will also directly finish the hem. I'm using a very thin one. You can also buy wider ones. I have two reasons that I'm using the thin one. First and most important is that this is a very narrow skirt, like this is the top part of the skirt and it's just tiny. So if I take the wider one, it is almost the same width as the skirt. And since the material is also very thin, it's satin, it's really thin and flimsy, so I'm pretty sure that the white one will poke through. That's, you will be seeing it. I don't want that. Second reason is I have a lot of the thin one, and this is all I have left of the white one, because I use the white one a lot for my longer skirts, meaning I will have to order new horsehair braid in this width, which I haven't done, and then I would have to wait and wait, and I just want to work on the costume. But for me the most important reason is just that the width of this top skirt is rather small, and I think I would prefer all the layers to have like a similar effect, so I'm going to use the small one for everything. You can also buy them in different colors. I have black and white at the moment. Pretty sure I could buy blue one, but then I will have a lot of leftovers. So since I'm using it for multiple projects, I just decided to buy basic colors, so black and white. And yeah, that's just it. So keep pinning everything. Keep pinning the horsehair braid to the skirt and then sew it on, roll it inside and finish off. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, but I added some bias binding to the edge of the horsehair braid, because it can be rather hard. It's like, yeah, you don't want it to be poking through, so just to be sure I added some bias binding to it, and you can also just use some fabric or whatever you like, just for a little bit extra safety. And then when this is sewn in on the right side, you tuck it in, fold it over to the wrong side. Secure it. And do this for the entire thing. Once you have the horsehair braid sewn in, you will be making pleats, box pleats, and then you are going to take your sewing machine, set your stitching super high, and then baste the pleats into place. They don't need to be on a small stitch because you will be making 3 skirts, you will be attaching them together, you will add a waistband. So just for keeping those in place, just use the long stitch. And then once you're gonna sew everything together, then you can use the smaller stitch again, which will also help to secure the pleats in place. So I'm still working on the skirt, and the 2 longest pieces, which is this and this, they are sewn on top of each other. So with the wrong side fitting the correct side, the right side. They are just sewn together with a long running stitch. The shortest layer, however, isn't sewn on like that. The shortest one is sewn to the inside of the skirt. As you can see, this is the shortest layer, which is then attached to the inside. It's not sewn on yet, but I will sew it on. As you can see, it's just pinned right now. And this is done because if I have sewn it and I will flip it over, the edge will be finished, so you don't need to search or flip or do anything, just it's already finished. That's nice. So yes, we are now just simply going to be sewing the shortest layer to the rest of the skirt, and I'm using a long stitch again. That's what I will be doing now. So now, as stated before, we have the bottom layer, the longest one, the second one, and then the shortest one is to the inside. And then once that's all sewn, you're just going to flip that over like this. That's all. That's all you need to do. Flip it over. And then you are, or this I don't think it's necessary, but it will help. So to keep things in place. So what I will do is do a top stitch around here to make sure that it all stays. And to help me not to get confused in all the ruffles, I will set everything down in place. It's flipped in. So that's it. Just add a top stitch if you want. If not, that's fine too. But personally, I think it will help to keep everything in place. Especially with the elastic band, that you don't accidentally have like a piece on the inside instead of the outside. So yes, let's sew it all down. And then you will sew on your elastic band, so you have a waistband, and then the skirt is done. Yay! I don't really like working with elastic or stretchy stuff, so I'm happy this is done. Yay! Okay, that's nice. Almost done. So now that we have a skirt, it's pretty cute and lovely and bouncy by itself. But if you really, really want that magical girl flounce, I suggest adding a small petticoat. Like you don't need a crinoline or a massive petticoat, because it doesn't have to be round, but adding just a small petticoat underneath will give an extra bounce, like you can see in my video. So the next video will be about making the petticoat. I hope you enjoyed this video, and well, if you do want to finish henning, I do suggest watching the other videos as well. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, and well, enjoy the next videos. Thank you so much for watching.